I think it's about time I came out of the Kiss closet, closet with a K by the way, and fessed up to my love of this band. Welcome classic rock fans to a short video where I discuss whether it really is incompatible to be considered a discerning music lover, but also have a deep dark secret, that is harbour a secret copy of Rock and Roll Over. And what spurred this video is a comment left by one of my subscribers that they find it quite frankly disturbing that somebody with arguably a decent taste in music should like Kiss. So I thought I'd explore that for this one. As much as I love albums like Close to the Edge and Lark's Tongues in Aspic, I still get a buzz out of listening to I Love Rock and Roll and Pretty Vacant and songs like that. For me, music isn't just about complexity and grand themes, it's also about power and emotion. And let's not forget there's a lot of music we listen to, even some would say quite questionable music, because it means something to us on a much deeper level. I'll give you some examples. For example, I can't hear songs like 70s hits like Billy Don't Be a Hero or Terry Jack's Seasons in the Sun, or Everybody Was Kung Fu Fighting. Who sung that one? I can't remember the name of the guy now. That one. I can't listen to those songs without remembering my mother and her cheesy old cassette tape of 70s hits that she used to play all the time. Or Boney M was another band she used to listen to. I quite like them as well. And likewise there's the other albums like R.E.M's Up, for example. Admittedly nowhere near their best album, but it's an album that I bought the day it came out when I was living as a student up in County Durham, and I played it to death, as I didn't have many CDs then. Played it to death, and now that the music on that record is inexplicably and intricately woven with all the memories I have of that time. So yes, I love that album for that reason. And other songs as well. I can't listen to ABBA without thinking of my sister. I can't listen to Cliff Richard singing Devil Woman, another song that I love, without thinking of my mother. I can't listen to Billy Joel without thinking of my brother. All this music I love because it has these memories attendant upon it. So one thing, there's the emotional journey that listening to some of this music takes us on. Memories of people, memories of places. I listened to Adam and the Ants' Kings of the Wild Frontier and suddenly I'm 12 years old again. I think a lot of the problem with the rock world is that there's no mystique or magic to it anymore. When I was growing up, of course, it was this strange fairyland. I use the term fairyland advisedly here. It was a strange fairyland, a mysterious world that we only got to get a glimpse into by Melody Maker, NME, or watching Top of the Pops. It's why listening to Status Quo for me, it feels like comfort food. I remember watching Sure as Eggs is Eggs, they'd be on Top of the Pops every Thursday. Quo would be on there, and it takes me back to a time of places and people who are perhaps no longer with us. The world of music used to have an air of mystery to it. Our heroes were just glimpsed occasionally, whereas now, my God, it's so gratuitous. With the internet, of course, we see everything from their pop promos to their latest prostate examination. But back then, before the internet, there was an aura. But unfortunately, we've all seen the wizard behind the curtain now, haven't we? So many of you are probably thinking at this juncture, hang on, I've clicked on this video to hear all about Kiss, and they've hardly been mentioned. Bloody clickbait or what? Okay, so I'll share my history with you. So the question was, is it irreconcilable to call yourself a music fan and to, on the one hand, be listening to Bitches Brew, and on the other hand, listening to Kiss's Love Gun? That's the question, and one that you can pursue in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. So my history. Imagine, if you will, a place and time before the internet, when, as I said, you had to find other sources for your information on music, much of it word of mouth, people exchanging cassettes and vinyl and things like that. There used to be a program on TV called Entertainment USA, which was interesting. It was a fascinating program. I must have been about, gosh, how old must I have been? 13 or 14 or maybe younger even. But it was actually hosted by Jonathan King, who is obviously now disgraced, the disgraced Jonathan King, but nevertheless, it was hosted by him, and he introduced on primetime TV to English audiences a lot of these American bands that I'd never heard of. Now, my brother had a pen pal in the USA, in Greenville, Ohio to be exact, and they would exchange cassettes, so through him I got to hear Styx. Another album, Styx Paradise Theatre. I cannot listen to that album without thinking of my brother, for example, but I backtrack. Anyway, there was this program, Entertainment USA. I remember as clear as day Billy Gibbons being on there talking about the Eliminator album, describing the music of ZZ Top as sounding like four flat tyres on a muddy road. Quite an appropriate simile, I think, since the music seemed to be, those music videos seemed to be obsessed with that car. But on this program, it was my introduction to Kiss, and they fired my imagination to see these guys in this makeup and that stage show. I'd never seen anything like it. It was certainly very different from the sort of stuff I was seeing on Top of the Pops anyway. Gene Simmons talking about a lot of the synthesizer bands of the 80s, saying, they're okay, but we're a big loud band that like big amplifiers, words to that effect. And seeing him spitting blood, all that makeup and demonic persona and everything was just, it turned a light on in my head. I went out and bought Kiss I Love It Loud 7-inch single. I managed to find that. It had a tongue. You pulled the label and the tongue came out. Of course, that was the video that they actually played on Entertainment USA, so that kind of dates it around about 82, doesn't it? From then on, I was pretty well hooked. I went to my local vinyl store, local record shop, Our Price or something like that it was, and looked through the K section for Kiss. You didn't have much choice then. There wasn't an Amazon that you could look at and buy anything you wanted, just what was there. They had Kiss Destroyer, Kiss Alive 2 and Dynasty were the only albums they had. I brought Destroyer, and I still love that album to this day because it has a special place in my heart because of what it represents. Later on, of course, subsequently I managed to get a lot of their albums through second-hand stores. I bought Kiss Alive and things like that and just loved them, absolutely loved them. Got to see the first concert I ever paid to go and see was Kiss on the Animalized tour, supported by a fairly unknown band from New Jersey called Bon Jovi. That's it, Bon Jovi. So that was a great gig to go to. So in my half-assed and waffly way to answer the question, is it incompatible to love something like Lark's Tongues in Aspic and Destroyer? No, I don't think so. I think music, there's a time and a place for whatever you want to listen to. I've gotten to an age where I don't particularly want to sit down and listen to Kiss or AC/DC anymore. It's music I put on when I'm doing something, or I'm going to the gym. It's perfect gym music. When I sit down and listen to something these days, I prefer something that's much more, considered, with more, dare I say, adult themes, perhaps more complex themes and ideas behind them. That doesn't say that I still don't love Kiss, their music, what their music means to me, and I know what they are. I'll pause it there because there's a plane going over. I don't know if you can hear it. It's probably Gene Simmons saying, "I'm watching you." Watching you. See what I did there? So where was I? Kiss. So this music has a special place in my heart. I know what this band are. I know they're complete whores for money, really, and which is the more disturbing aspect of what they do. This idea of just branding everything. Probably very honest in a way, because all these bands now make a fortune from selling merchandise. Gene Simmons says we were the band that did that first. But I do think Kiss take it to a whole new level of consumerism with a K, and therefore undermines, I think, the legacy of this band to a certain extent, which was all about power and rock and roll and showmanship. So I've got these nice deluxe editions that have come out as my copy of Love Gun, and I love the Destroyer as well, one of my favourite albums. I love these cartoonish, almost superhero covers, again firing that imagination of a 14-year-old boy. So will I be shelling out for that $300 deluxe Creatures of the Night box set? Well, I bollocks. I'm more worried about paying my heating bills this winter than buying a box set full of ephemeral flim-flam that I'll only ever look at once. That doesn't say there isn't a big part of me that would love to have it. Of course I would love to have it. Anyway, so I shall leave it there and leave you guys to mull over what I've said and comment down below. I'd love to hear from you on this issue. Thank you for watching. I hope you're well, staying healthy, and more importantly that you keep listening.